All right, let's get started. You may learn something.
What up? Welcome to No Bad Vibes TV, and it's me, Chris the Enlightened. And you know what? Today I'm gonna talk about children and spirituality. How the heck is it that children are so close to the spiritual side? It's not even funny. Like, children, especially like little 3, 4, 5-year-olds, they all have a good relationship with the spiritual realm. What ends up happening is we get older and we forget that shit. You know what I'm saying? We forget it exists. We forget about the spiritual side as we get older, as we get more into our human bodies instead of our spiritual. Children, I love them. Always have. They're so in tune with the other side. Like, they're in tune with the clouds, and they're in tune with the truth. If you tell a child something, they ask questions. They're so curious, and they're so like open-minded that they want to know everything there is to know about everything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And see, children, they're very like, when it comes to even dating, a child in preschool or kindergarten will be so honest with his girlfriend versus an adult that won't. Like, example, a kid might say, I want you to play Undie Sandbox. And then you say, well, I don't like you. I like that girl over there. Do you see how honest that is? Adults would be like, oh, you know what? I can't because I got something coming up. I can't do it right now. And they'll just make up any bullshit ass excuse to, you know what I mean? Like, so they won't hurt your feelings. At least a child, they'll just be straight up with you. Like, they'll be like, I seen your butt. And it's funny. I mean, kids are hilarious. They're so innocent. Like, they think that, like, even when you're in junior high, most people talk about riding shotgun. They're so innocent. You go around school and you think grabbing a girl's butt is like the biggest thing ever. Like, you and your friends be kicking it. I'm going through the same thing. They'll be kicking it and they'll be like, I dare you to go over there and grab her booty. And then you'd be like, you want me to grab her booty? Aw, it's pretty nice. And then when you actually grab it, you're like, boom. And then the girl looks at you and she's like, oh my God, Chris. Or whoever it was. And then you're like, hee hee hee. And it's that feeling in your hand that you're like, oh, it's the feeling of an ass. It's something about it. And it's like, this is the stuff you think about in junior high. And you do dumb shit. Even in high school, you do dumb shit. The other day, I seen these people that were standing on top of this roof at the park. And because I went to do some meditating and thinking at the park. I like to be around all the trees and all that stuff. So then they had these kids just jumping off the bathroom rooftop, and they thought that was cool. Versus adults, we're always worried about everything else. We're worried about fucking bills, fucking rent, fucking responsibilities. We're worried about fucking children. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's harder to be an adult, you know what I mean? But it's like, I think more adults lie. Adults lose their spirituality as you get older. Because certain things that little children think, because they're so in tune with the spiritual realm, certain ways a child may think, an adult may see that and say, well, that don't make sense. It's because it's something they forgot. As adults, we tend to forget our spirituality. But you know what I do notice when it comes to adulthood, I mean, to like being like an older senior citizen, like 60, 70, 80, we start going back to those child thoughts. That's why a child and a older person relate so well. That's another video, different day, different trip. But here is spirituality in children. Children are very observant, and they, for some reason, when they receive stuff from the other side, they really receive it and they listen. Versus most adults don't listen. Most adults think, oh, we know every goddamn thing there is to know, so we don't gotta listen to anything. There was a time actually where I was like 4, I guess, and my grandma told me a story how she said she was really sick and she didn't think anybody was around. Typical adult shit. You know, you don't really get in tune with the other side. She said as a 4-year-old, I went over and she said I pointed to this picture of her mom and her grandma. She said I told her, grandma, those two women, they came, I seen them. And I guess they sent me a message and they told me that everything was gonna be okay because my grandma was real sick. And she said the next day she woke up and everything was fine. That's when I was telling her, I seen them, they came to me, as a 4-year-old or something like that, you know. So, you know, children are very in tune with the spiritual side. And there might be a child that says like, oh, I went to Brooklyn when I was 19 years old. And you look at them like, what? They say the most random shit. But maybe it could have been in their past life that they somehow just got a glimpse of or something. So before you think a kid is talking out of their ass, listen to them. They might just be making sense. But anyway, I love kids. Kids are very spiritual. Don't forget that. And so are animals and plants and all that. But children are very sympathetic as well. They really do care about what you think, versus most adults don't. A lot of adults don't give a shit what you say or do. But kids, they actually have sympathy in their heart. You know, they care. They care when people hurt. They, like when somebody's mom is hurt, they're like, why is my mommy hurting? You know, you see how kids get? And that's just how they are. And kids are good. You gotta remember, we're all born good. So just remember that. Kids are special. Kids are very special. And they're very spiritual. And that was the main topic of this right here video. I did an interview with Anthony Pico. I promised you I was going to put that up. So I promise you this week, when I get some time, things have been crazy, but when I get some time, I'm going to put up the interview with Anthony Pico on Cosmic Tuesdays. Shout out Anthony Pico. You're a great host. I love you, man. I do, brother. And I look forward to more interviews I'm doing that I have in the works. I don't want to say too much. I just want to keep it a little secret. Also, the IANDS conference, near death conference, is going to be in Bellevue, Washington, and I really want to go. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to talk more about that later. For you, those of you guys that are watching, stay tuned for more videos. Keep the positive vibes going. I love you guys. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Stay weird. Stay different. And stay different. Even though I always say that twice. It's just a habit now. So stay weird, be different, and stay different again. Alright, y'all. It's all love, man. No bad vibes. And we out.